it's Miss Britzel at the Appleton West Library, and I am book talking one of my favorite authors, Neal Shusterman. He wrote this with his son, Jarrod. This is a fantastic apocalyptic type, I guess you call it a climate apocalyptic story, near future. So they don't tell us the thing, but, all the things we're used to are in this book. It's not super futuristic, but it is definitely apocalyptic dystopian. So it's called Dry because California, as well as other places, I'm sure, are going through a drought. And the Colorado is one of the ways California gets its water. Well, Arizona and Nevada decide they're going to close the dams that allow water to flow all the way to California, and so the taps are shut off. So this comes in very early in the book. And so it's the great tap out is what it's called, but people can't live without water. So you turn on your faucets, no water. So hoarding begins and other things begins, and it's just a total collapse of this disaster in California. Yet the news isn't making a big deal of this yet because there's a hurricane going on elsewhere in the country. So, things are getting really bad in California. People are trying to leave. We see people at their worst, other people doing things, whatever they have to do in order to get water, and what happens to people when they don't. So, like I said, this is a great sci-fi disaster. It follows, I would say, 4 teens and a younger brother. So Alyssa is probably our main character, and she's with her younger brother, Garrett. Her parents went to get water. There was a place at the beach where they were going to turn sea water into drinkable water. And they take their bikes there with the neighbor, Kelton, whose family are survivalists. And it's just kind of like a disaster. So they don't know what's happened to their parents. And they end up going back to their neighborhood with Kelton. Actually, during that time, they also meet Jackie, who kind of saves them from a group of rampaging teenage boys. They go there, and like I said, Kelton's family are survivalists, so they have a lot of stuff. Well, once again, there's a little bit of a disaster there because the neighbors have kind of lost it as well, and they know that Kelton's family has stuff. So this group of teenagers, as well as Garrett, end up driving to Kelton's family's bug out. This is a place deep in the woods where, they're supposed to be able to wait out whatever disaster's going on. This is just one, like I said, mini disaster within the huge disaster from beginning to end. It was to say I enjoyed it sounds bad, but it kept my attention. I was so engaged in this book from the beginning to the end, and it really makes you think what would happen if we are so taught that when we turn on our taps, something is going to happen. And just the lack of government response, and even when the government does respond, it's too little, too late almost. There's, how are you going to get water to millions and millions and millions of people? So I really did enjoy this book quite a bit. So like I said, Neal Shusterman is one of my favorite authors. And he wrote this with his son. They've written another book, but it was very different than this one. I truly enjoyed this sci-fi apocalyptic dystopian book. This is not your cup of tea. I'll help you find something else. Otherwise, have a fantastic day and keep on reading.